How's it going, Internet Land? Zacchamus Prime, aka Zacchamus Prime, here with the Transformers third-party review. More specifically, here with the Transformers Legends Class Masterpiece review. Because, damn. So this is the Newage Octavius / Conquest. And I'm guessing that it's got two names because one name is for the cab and the other name is for the trailer. Not sure why they would do it that way, but hey, whatever. Octavius / Conquest, we'll go with it. But, I mean, it kind of looks like Ultra Magnus. It's not. It's Conquest. But I would be totally understanding if you thought that maybe this might be Ultra Magnus. I hear ya. But, yeah, so I used to have the Magic Square transporter, and that figure was a lot of fun. I like that figure. The robot mode especially looked really good. The transformation was clever, and the alt mode was tiny. It was very small. It was not to scale with any of my Legends figures, and I didn't really... I mean, it spends almost all of its time in robot mode anyhow, but in a perfect world, it would have been nice to have one that scaled in both modes, and now I do. So, yes. This figure is fantastic, and it's not... The second half of that story is that Magic Square also came out with a new Ultra Magnus that's about this size, and it pairs up with their white repaint of that one, which is no longer in production, and you gotta, you know, dig deep and pay deep pockets to get one, because they didn't re-release it. They just released a trailer for it, like, years later. And they're like, yeah, if you got one, great, have a trailer for it. If you don't have one, sucks to be you. And it cost actually about the same as this one, so I felt that this was a better bang for my buck, and I feel that it looked better. So let's get into his accessories real quick. He comes with a gun. This is the very Ultra Magnus looking gun. No paint on this, but sculpted extremely well. And I dropped it. That fits into his fist hole just like so, and he holds that, well, as exactly as you'd expect. He also comes with another gun, and I am not familiar with this gun because I haven't seen it before. It may be something for the, like, Minimus Ambus mode, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's what I would look at this, and in my head canon, that's exactly what I would do with it. Oh yeah, this goes on the white Prime when he doesn't have the armor on, you know. But I'm not sure exactly where they took this. Again, great sculpting on this, no paint. And then he also comes with a G1 accurate, basically Optimus Prime gun, this ion blaster, and that is exactly like Optimus Prime's gun, sculpted well, spot of paint on the sides for that silver. It's good stuff. He also comes with 2 sets of optional hands. Comes with a set of jazz hands, which you can replace just with a simple peg. Grab this, yank it out, put in the jazz hands. Yeah, jazz hands. And he comes with a set of pointing hands, which again you just put in just like so. Sculpted well, no paint. And then last but not least, let me put his fist back in. He's got the old matrix of leadership from that one scene from that one movie. And if we open this up and then open this up, Open that up. You can see he's got it in there. And it is tiny and it is deep in there. It is not meant to be extracted by human hands. Luckily, I am a machinist and I have tools. So we're going to tease that out here. And this is printed in die cast. It's got the silver of the zinc alloy and then a little spot of gold on the front and turquoise on top of that. And that just, it's not meant to be replaced by human hands either. Just fits right in there, as you'd always expect. Seal that up. Keep it safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. But yeah, very good. Very good spread of accessories. I like the alternate hands. I like the choice of guns is fun because I've noticed that Ultra Magnus tends to have a really big gun, and it's kind of nice that he's got a smaller gun for his less armored mode. He of course comes with these little shoulder missiles here. You can pull this off. This is a separate piece, so you can fulfill all of your missile firing fantasies with this, and that's cool. But yeah, let's get into his posability. I don't know if I showed a good look of him from behind. Lots of hiding the sins back here, but you know, you gotta hide them sins somewhere. It doesn't really add to his profile that much. It's just a little unsightly looking at it full on. So it's not the worst thing, though I admit it's not the best thing either. Oh yeah, and he's got arms on the top of his chest. Again, not the worst thing, but a little bizarre, if I'm being honest. And I do like being honest. But yeah, so his head is on a ball joint, and it will look up and down, rotate all around. You've got this this transformation joint here, so you can raise that up, get a little bit more clearance for his head. Doesn't really go side to side, like ever so slightly. Why are you focused on nothing? Ever so slightly, his head goes side to side. So yeah, that'll look pretty much wherever you need to look, more or less. Oh, his shoulder does go all the way around. He's got a hinge that allows it to go out and out, so he can actually get the full tree pose with his shoulder pylons, which I think is fantastic. Clever engineering there. Single mushroom peg here to do his bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow, but it's got the full run right there, so that's excellent. You got a swivel on this peg here, though. The shape of his fist inside this square-shaped hole is going to give you a little bit of results may vary, especially depending on which fist you put in there. His waist rotates all the way around. He does have an ab crunch for a little bit, for some back and some forward. He's got the old skirt armors here, though you also got to keep in mind that he's got skirt armors underneath the skirt armors. And so it makes things a little difficult to pull them all out of the way, because this won't go very high up before it starts clanking into that gray skirt armor. So you have to raise the blue one, then raise the gray one. Then you can get his leg to go all the way that far forward and all the way that far back. Goes out for the full Van Damme. Pretty decently tensioned ball joint too. Upper thigh swivel right there. Technically double jointed at the knee, though he can't really take full advantage of it in the Ultra Magnus mode. But I mean, honestly, you show me an Ultra Magnus that is superposable, so I'll take that for sure. No forwards and back on his toe, though he does have as much tiltage as you could possibly want. Yeah, it's good. It's good. For size comparison, I'll do some size comparison. Here he is with the Magic Square Optimus Prime, which is a good scale. There he is with Newage Prowl. And moving this to the side, there he is with Newage Bumblebee. So, scale on this figure is really good. To get this guy transformed up, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off all of his accessories. And for this, that includes taking off all of his armor. So we'll just come here, pop these two tabs right here. There's one on this side and one on this side. You can see these tabs here go into slots there. That will allow this to just simply slide off, and we'll set this aside for a moment. Pull up on his ab crunch, and that will just release this waist section that will come off. Yank off his thighs. With this one here, you want to open up this panel here and this panel here. Well, you don't need that one, but you do need to take off this panel and then slide that off. There's a peg that fits into this hole here on his leg. There's the peg. On the other leg, it's a hole. No, it's a peg on the leg and a hole on that one. So let's stick this aside for just a moment and focus on all of these armor pieces for a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is pick up one of these leg sections here, extend that out, extend this most of the way around, not all the way around. You want this to be raised up a little bit because this has to be flat before you put this flat, otherwise you have difficulty making that flat. Put this wheel, drop this down, turn it around, put it back up. You can take one of these guys, plug it into there. I'm going with, this is the, this is the leg, this is the thigh armor that goes with this foot. And when I put it in there, it's got the flat section is facing down towards this section here. And then we're going to do all of that for this other leg. So bring this down, bring it around, open this up, straighten this out, bring this around most of the way. Take this thigh section, plug it into there. Now we want to carefully plug these together because you've got a peg, and the peg, this is a dovetail peg. And then tab, 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 or slot. Just make sure that all of your tabs and slots match up. And give them a little bit of a squeeze. And now we're cooking with gas. We are getting somewhere. You want to take this waist section here and basically turn it inside out. So flip these skirts all the way up and this one as well. And this is going to come in right here. And we're going to just tab this in on one side. Not on both sides yet, just on the one. And then for this one here, what we're going to do is bring his arm around and then split this along this seam right here. So bring that around, split along this seam here. On this arm in particular, you gotta flip out this little tab right here. That's gonna put that connected to that. And then for his forearm, we're going to gently coax it into opening up and expanding out. You see this is on some sort of a double hinge. Why is it focusing on my arm? Bring this down like so. Fold his fist up like so. Do the same for the other side. Down, fist, boom. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring these around like so, and then we're going to bring these around like so, and these are going to tab together here and here and here. This is going to fold in on itself, and this is going to go like so. Now you've got these tabs right here, and those tabs are going to fit into these other guys that we decided to not do anything about yet. And this is going to peg into that, and these are going to peg in here. And we're going to fold this all up. And that looks an awful lot like a trailer. Put that to the side. So for this guy here, what we're going to do is basically we need to swing this section around, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting that to swing around. So what we need to do first is pull out these side sections here, and you want to kind of pull on them while you're simultaneously raising this up. Bring this down and around, bring this around. That will allow you to bring this windshield up with its associated panels, and then that gives you the space you need to bring his arm out to the side, flip this whole section around, and do the same for the other side. Bring this out, flip this whole section around, bring out his head, and then we're just going to put this all back into place. So these sections here, we're just going to kind of feed them through there. And this is the tricky part, feeding them through, because you got to kind of get these panels to go. They've got to go into this hole and through this tab. So bring them past that. Make sure that's all pushed in, and then this part here, make sure that this is all the way pulled out. Put that back into place. Put this back into place. I'm putting this all back into place, but oh, you know we're going to undo this in just a few minutes. Bring this down. And put it into a pose that doesn't look stupid. And there you have the core of Ultra Magnus, which some people just call Magnus. Some people nowadays call him Minimus Ambus. Some people just call it White Optimus. That's what it is. That's what it be. And that's basically all perfect scale. And I like it. It looks great. Some little doodads you can do here. You can actually take these and plug them into his forearms. I don't know why, but there's these slots here that they don't do anything else. The only thing that they do is that you can plug, well, no, that's not necessarily true. They are used for tabbing it in when you transform it. So maybe that's not his only use for that. So it's just coincidence, I guess, that you can plug his shoulder missiles into his forearms as forearm missiles, I guess. Fascinating coincidence. You can take one of his guns, plug it into his hand. This one feels a little tight, but it works. You can take his other gun, plug it into his hand. You can plug both of them into his hands. He can guns akimbo this thing. You can plug in his Ultra Magnus gun as well, though again, this fist seems to be rather tight. And, I mean, if you like it holding the huge gun, that's fine too. I ain't gonna judge. His fists connect with, I believe, the same sort of... yeah. So you can swap out fists in this mode, but, you know, be fully warned that his hands are... his Ultra Magnus hands are much larger than his, Minimus Ambus hands, but it actually doesn't look so bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Posability for this guy, his head goes all the way up. It goes a little bit down, rotates around freely. Paint apps on this are really great. The red for the eyes just really pops. Blue and blue on the face, a little bit of silver, looks great. All of this is done in this like pearlescent, at least all this upper body is done in this pearlescent. This is done in a really sleek like matte finish for his legs. So yeah, head's good posability there. Arms go all the way around, full tree pose and then some. He's got a bicep swivel at the elbow. Single joint elbow for 90 degrees, so it's good enough. Rotation at the wrist. Waist rotates all the way around, just as it did with the armor on. And he's got the ab crunch for that far forward, and if you're willing to completely break the sculpt from the front that far back. He's got the same waist joints, the same waist armors that go up. Brings his leg that far forward, that far back, all the way out for the full Van Damme. Thigh swivel, again, all the same still. Knee joint is now, can take full advantage of that double bend. Gives him good articulation there. Ankle tilt there, and a little bit of toe up, though really nothing down. So, good posability, actually, for this guy as well. Which is fantastic. So I know that the Newage is also coming out with an Optimus Prime that released just a couple weeks ago, actually, if I'm remembering correctly when it released. And that one uses most of the same upper body, but completely new lower body. They say it's about 60% mold share between them. And I'm going to be honest, for the first time in a long time, I've looked at, and I've spent months deliberating this, by the way. I've looked at them both and decided actually to go with Magic Square. So we're going to see how that works, because as of yesterday, they already said that they were having issues with the mold. They're like, yeah, the first run of our Optimus Prime version 2 is not going to come with the little combat drone because we're having issues with it. And I'm just like, really? Okay. So it might be a while before we get that. But let's get this guy transformed up. So let's start with the upper body. again, we're going to start right where we did before. Kind of bring this all out and down and around. When you bring this out, you do need, so they're like here and they come out, you do need to bring these down a bit so that when you bring this guy down, you have space to flip that around, because that be important. You want to take his panels here. You can kind of bring these out. That will help you to navigate this through here. Bring them forward, bring them out all the way. That will give you ample space to bring his shoulders around, just like he was for his Ultra Magnus mode. Put the head all the way in, fold that back up. Hide this back where it was before. Those are the tabs I was talking about that the forearms are used for. See that tab maybe? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. It's hard for me to see what you guys see. I'm going to look at this later on after it uploads to YouTube and I'll be like, wow, what kind of a moron am I? They couldn't see that at all. But you guys already know what kind of a moron I am. We're going to turn that waist all the way around. And then for the arms, what we're going to do is we are going to fold the arm backwards. You want to bend the elbow. That helps you to reach in and grab this panel. To pull that out. Rotate the fist around 180 degrees. That is an important step. This does care about where you put the thumbs. And then you want to bring this tab in, this slot, to plug into that tab. And you kind of just got to do it by feel. And there it went, just straight away. We're going to do the same with the other side. So bend the elbow, bring out that panel, bring this around, bring this around, fold this in. I got to make sure that this wheel panel is out of the way, because it will try to get in the way. And then just seat that tab. There we go. Alright, before I get too much farther with this, I may have already... Shoot. Alright, I went too far with this. I really needed to take a moment and flip this skirt armor around, because I don't like it otherwise. Okay, well, whoops. I apologize for everybody. I wasted 10 seconds of your time. Alright, so these sections are going to come up and they're going to pop into place right in here. And then you want to fold up these little windows here. Bring this panel down into place. I think it's so cute that they give them little doors. I think that's awesome. And then there's a particular way that these panels like to sit. And I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, except that, well, they won't fit in the right place until they have gone into that configuration. But see, now I've got it. Cab's all squared up. Take this, bring it around. Those tabs plug into those slots. While you weren't looking, I extended down these legs like so. That will allow me to fold these skirt armors all the way in. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take this one leg. We're going to do one leg at a time. Bring that around, bring his foot out, his foot is going to fold up like so, so that the wheels are now on the bottom. This foot, this toe is going to turn like so. This is the like fuel tank. We're going to open this up part of the way, not all the way yet. Then we're going to come around and we're going to pull on this panel here, and that's going to bring up this whole assembly. And now what's going to happen is this panel is going to come down and around. And then you want to push on this part right here. And that slides all of this down. And then you're going to take this and fold it around. Bend the knee a bit so that this tab clears the thigh. And then straighten it up. And then move this gas tank is now the bumper. And then that's basically the leg most of the way done. We're going to do that real quickly to the other leg. So bring the foot out, rotate that, bring this out part way. Pull on this panel here. Separate this out to start to bring it into place. Slide this down. Bring this panel all the way around, bend the knee if you need to, and then push everything into place. You've got this tab will fit into that slot, this peg will fit into that hole, and then once you do that, these little pegs on the feet, the skirt armor plugs into both of them. And there you have the cab in his cab mode. And damn, that looks actually pretty damn good. I like it a lot. You do need to split this once again, which means you got to unseat these tabs to bring in the trailer. You've got an actual mushroom peg here, which is kind of cool because when you get this all back together, the trailer doesn't come off. I think that's actually pretty damn slick. So there he is in his vehicle mode with his trailer that doesn't come off. Oh, hey, we can take these, plug these in. There's a click as these come in. You can see, hopefully see, there's like a slot, this little groove put into that tab. And they've got like an internal tab that fits into that groove to click it into place, which is nice. No storage for any of these accessories. So your guns, your hands, none of them are going to store on the vehicle mode. I don't think that's a problem at all, because most vehicle mode storages are, let's be honest, half-assed at best. So, but yeah, let's bring out some of the cars here. See what they look like. And I think they look pretty damn good. Fortunately, nobody's going to actually fit through. There's a little space here. Except for maybe Cliff Jumper. Kind of. Not really. So we're just going to have to fake it. Fake it till you make it, right? We'll put a wheel jack in here. No, that's not. Okay, wheel jack is a little too wide for that. We'll put. Wow, is everybody too wide for this? I feel bad. I didn't check this before I shot this video. I should check to see if he'll fit cars on him. I could try one of the Datsun guys, but I don't want to sit here and transform one for you guys. This video's already over half an hour, so. I've seen it done on the internet that you can put cars in there, But I'm not going to take the time to do that, I guess. Sorry, everybody. Leave me the old dislike. But since you don't even know, you can't even see the dislikes. I'm just going to laugh. But yeah, this guy rolls well. I like the so the pins that keep the tires on also double as the hubcaps. So he's got shiny metal hubcaps. A little bit of a pearlescent color going over this. There's some paint mismatching on here. It's difficult to see, but some of these panels don't really line up with some of the other panels in terms of color. And like, this is white plastic, and that's white plastic, and that's white plastic, and this is clear plastic, so that might explain that. But there's kind of a mismatch between this upper part here and this lower part here. And I don't know why, because they should all be the same pearlescent paint. The legs are looking pretty good, all being folded up the way they are. I don't mind the toes being like a fake detail here. All in all, I think it looks great. I think it looks really well done. I enjoy it a lot. I say that a lot about Newage, but I'm not trying to be spouting hyperbole. I'm very pleased with these figures, and this is absolutely no exception. But anyhow, this is a full recommend for me for your Legends collection. This is a strong recommendation from me for if you just like Ultra Magnus in general. But that's about all I have to say about this. Oh, by the way, it rolls great. It rotates just fine, especially if you make sure his head is fully out of the way. Rotates just fine on that little peg thing. But thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. I will see ya.